Welcome back for another video, viewers. Today I have quite the score. Everything you see here I just picked up hours ago at a Hot Wheels swap meet in Barrie, Ontario, Canada at the 400 flea market, and there are lots of nice swap meets coming up. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video for anyone local or wanting to travel, but some really good people, lots of good stuff for sale, really good prices when you consider that this is in Canadian dollars and not American. As you can see, quite an assortment and a huge bag of $1 and $2 cars. Some of these things are just absolutely dynamite. Dynamite prices paid, like $2 for this Jeep Scrambler Real Rider vehicle, nearly mint condition. There's lots of stuff like that in here. Everything Matchbox, Corgi, Lesney, Hot Wheels, Ertl, Majorette, just a ton of cool things I handpicked. And a few more things are going to get opened up. Some old blue cards that I wanted to open up. A couple of newer Hot Wheels. But let's get right down to the meat and potatoes here. Look at these big old Lesney Super King trucks. Mint condition. This one even still has the rope on the back. I've never seen one in such condition. I paid $10 Canadian for each of those trucks. A nice Redline car, about 1969 here. $20 Canadian. So with the American conversion, I think the Canadian dollar is about 75 cents. That's about $15 American. Some really nice Majorette cars, a Johnny Lightning, and I have been wanting to pull the trigger on this Car Culture Premium box set for the Datsun 510 exclusive. Actually, all the vehicles in that set are exclusives. We're going to be looking at that. And just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, all these cool cars. So this was released, probably about a year or so ago, I think. Not sure. Yeah, 2017 says right there. But anyways, pick that up for $100 Canadian. I know they're a lot cheaper if you can get them straight from the source, but I never am able to get those. They always sell out immediately. And from the same seller, two more awesome Datsun 510s. These are club cars. We're going to get them out of these Protecto packs so you can see them a little better. Those were $50 Canadian each. That rounds out to about 35 US a car. I think I did really well on that. Got the brand new Fast and Furious 6 vehicle set. Some super cars in there. Gonna look at all those. Skylines and GTRs, and wow, just so happy to be able to get that full 6 car set. So hold on to your socks. Let's get right into this video, starting with this big bag of mystery loose cars. Just love this stuff. Now I am totally doing this video off the cuff, meaning I haven't really taken any time to research and find out the exact dates of everything, but I'll do the best I can. This one I believe is a 1985 release Real Riders Jeep Scrambler, and as you can see, it is cherry. There's going to be a couple more of those, but everything's just coming out one after another. Here's just an interesting little cheapo car from Maestro, but a really nice casting of the Nissan 300ZX, early to mid-90s. Now, all these cars really were only $1 or $2, so I'm not going to get into the pricing on these. Yatming, mid to late 1980s Pontiac Firebird. Hot Wheels Peugeot 505. Nice little early 90s blue card car. Matchbox, this one's all metal, lots of detail and suspension. This one is the Sterling. Now I already have quite a few of these, but at $1 or $2 you can't pass up on these types of cars. Here's a really interesting car, Matchbox, and it is appearing to be mint. It's a Roll-O-Matics, made in England, Lesney, hot rocker. Now the guy told me I only need $1 for this car because it's got a broken engine. No, it doesn't. It has a Roll-O-Matic engine, and it's supposed to do that. So that's a nice little piece to add to my collection. Now here and there I do correct some of these collectors that don't know everything about their cars. I did with several Redlines actually that I looked at and didn't buy. But sometimes you just want to strike a deal, right? So here we have a very strange looking Majorette. And this one is the Excalibur. Kind of a funky old car, isn't it? Another Jeep Scrambler. This one's a little beat up, but these Real Rider wheels are just so cool for customs. They probably do need to be cleaned up a little bit. Looks like maybe a a little girl owned this one and put her glitter glue all over it. That's alright. Figure that out. And the Monster Vet. This one was released around 1987. This is the rare variation with the blue tint window. It's not mint, but just knowing that this is a harder car to find, usually they have a black tint window. Had to add that to the lot. And always pick up a Bronco, especially when it still has the motorcycle intact. I mean, heck, you can buy a $1 car at Walmart made of plastic, and here's a solid metal Bronco for $1. Why not? This is an interesting one from the Turbo Tracks 1987 glow in the darks. It was a car exclusive for that set. The other one would have been the blue IROC Camaro or blown Camaro with glow in the dark flames on it. I paid $150 for a mint example of this several years ago on eBay. Here's a rough one that I paid $1 for. Why not? It's rare, it's interesting. Little Matchbox Austin Mini. Racing Mini they call this one, made in England, 1970. Not bad at all. Dead mint. Another one of these. You probably, if you watch my Matchbox museum tour of recently, you'll realize I have quite a few of these VW Golfs. However, they are kind of interesting to me. They got no suspension, but they are really nice, and this one is mint. Yet another Matchbox. This is one I didn't have, a Pontiac Firebird. A little rough, but it's still intact, and these older cars with the orange windows have a tendency to get cracks in the windows quite easily from play wear and sun. That one's pretty mint. Well, the windows are. And then we've got this old Corgi Rover 3500. It's got an opening rear hatch. This one is all metal. I have a couple of these, not this exact paint scheme, but mine have plastic bases. This is quite a heavy car, and for that reason, quite interesting. Here we have a Majorette from the early to mid 1990s. This was part of their military themed set of vehicles. It's pretty rough, but I thought these big old Chevy pickup trucks are fun for doing customs with, doing a little real rider wheel swap perhaps. So why not? And I did manage to get a whole bunch of Play Art cars. Now Play Art are pretty hard to find. They are old and in no longer a company so far as I know. Here we have a Pantera, all its original paint and tampos. Obviously a little played with, but that's fine. The De Tomaso Pantera, all metal with suspension. Rolls really nice. And jumping around, here we have a Solaire CX4. This would be about 1989. Pretty minty other than a little bit of Tampa wear on the roof. Those make great race cars on the racetracks. Yet another Bronco. You can never have too many Broncos. I pretty much bought every Bronco I saw. I already have maybe 50 of these things, but call me a hoarder, call me whatever. I just love my Broncos. And isn't this one interesting? It has actual steering wheels on it. I have one example of this already, and it is called Meccano. Made by Meccano. This one, made by Lesney in England. Series number 8. So interesting, the exact same car Lesney got the casting rights to from Meccano, clearly, because I think the Meccano would be earlier than this one. It's got a little bit of paint on it, but a nice, easy restoration project. Just one crack in the glass. Really nice car, and it actually steers. I've got a bee kind of hovering around, so if you're wondering why I'm waving my arms about, must be attracted to all the wonderful colors out here. This one does not have a name, just made in China. Don't know what it is, but I thought, what an interesting old car. Looks English. Maybe some of my viewers can help me out with that one. Count 5, you watching? What is it? Yatming. Now these ones are only listed as made in China, but this is clearly a Yatming casting with Yatming wheels. Probably early to mid 90s. In nice shape though, for a Ford van. And now a Corgi van, Fireball. This one is in really nice shape. I have quite a few of these Corgi vans, and in future videos I'll be doing all sorts of brand specific videos for you guys. I've got a lot of requests for majorette lately, so there will be a majorette video coming out soon. And this car you will see in that video. Chevy Impala, opening doors and full suspension. 1/69th scale. Love that they put the scales on those cars back then. It's got some sort of weird circle chip right on the 911, but otherwise, that car is cherry. Majorette trailer, camper trailer with, ooh, the door's stuck. No, it's not. With a movable camper door. They just call that one Caravan. And a nice old Hot Wheels Fiero. This would probably be a blue card era Fiero. It could be from earlier, but they all look the same. The only real way to tell is by the base, and I would say this is probably an 80s release because it says Hot Ones on it, with Malaysia stamped over. That's obviously a stamp over on the Hong Kong base. These cars first came out around 1984. And I don't know who makes this. I do have one on card somewhere, but I can't remember. I just knew I'd not open it because it had some interesting card work. I think it's Racing Champions, but it has actual rubber Goodyear tires on it. Metal base, metal body, a few scuffs. But that is a cool car for $1. Big old majorette Toyota pickup with opening hood, missing the front mirrors, and of course quite beat up. Lots of suspension on that. Another $1 Bronco, $1 Canadian, that's about 75 cents US. And this thing is in really good shape, so had to add that to the collection. Oop, a Hot Wheel not in such great shape, but still interesting for me as a custom, or possibly just slam it with a hammer for fun. The old 81 Chevy Citation with painted windows and a black hand-painted paint job. Pretty cruddy. I've got millions of these cars, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'll probably do a restoration on it. I'm not really going to smash that with a hammer, although that would be fun. And here is a very, very beat up, what do they call this one again? It's a Gremlin. Gremlin Grinder, I think. Yeah, Gremlin Grinder, that's what Hot Wheels called this. Released 1980. She's definitely showing 38 years worth of play and fun. Another interesting majorette. This is an old majorette, back when they had the different wheels. Panther Bertone. I'm probably not saying that right. Number 235. Going to do a little research on that one. It has a scale 1/65. These interesting little antennas that move around. And anyways, don't see those every day. Another interesting play art car. This one with opening doors. And this is a Lancia Faliva 1300 HF. Not even sure where you'd find that car, but pretty nice condition considering. It's got plastic wheel fender flares, which are pretty interesting. Metal base, metal top. Neat piece. Yet another Fiero. So we got two of those, both exactly the same. They're really, really nice cars for the racetrack though. They have suspension and they're fast and smooth. Interesting Matchbox construction vehicle called the Sight Dumper. It's got the dumper on it. That's just a new Matchbox truck, nothing special there. Now here's one I was quite excited about. I think I was just talking about my Hemi Challengers in my Matchbox Museum video. Can't remember if I had this one. I really don't think I do. So, nice minty example to add to the collection. These always have cracked front windshields or chips of plastic missing, but this one is unplayed with near I can tell. Same cannot be said for this majorette. Now they call these Chevy trucks the Dépannus. I believe that's French for tow truck. Any of my French viewers out there can correct me or confirm, one or the other. Another play art vehicle. This one is a Fiat X/19 or X1/9. Not familiar with that car, but it's heavily played with. Doesn't roll worth a darn, so that's okay. And yet another interesting play art car. I got all these from the same seller. He's just getting rid of all those weird old cars. The Alpine Renault. An Alpine Renault. I'm thinking that's some sort of rally race car or something. I've never seen anything like it. All metal. Now this one was a gem. I think he charged me $3 for this one, but that's fine. It's just such a cool little Datsun pickup. A Mazda pickup. Looks like kind of like a Datsun, but it's a Mazda. Missing something on the back, possibly a camper piece or something in the light bar, but a nice little diorama gem. A nice little scale size vehicle. Sun's coming out. Hopefully that doesn't affect the video quality here too much with the glare. But here we go, another really old Majorette. You can tell once again by these tri-spoke wheels that Majorette used to use back in the old days. Porsche 924 1/60th scale with an opening hatch. Now I imagine that is very fragile, and I'm amazed that it's still on there. Lots of suspension once again. I think we're getting down to the end of the bag. Here's a 20-pack exclusive 1988 blown Camaro from Hot Wheels, rather beat up, but anytime I find these cars I pick them up because I know how rare they are. They're hard to find, especially in mint condition. If you find them in mint condition, they can sell for anywhere between $20 and $80 depending on the Tampo variation, of which there are, I believe, 6 with the metallic burgundy paint. And a very nice condition Yatming Camaro. The opening doors, all metal. This one doesn't have much suspension. Usually the Yatmings do have that. And once again, you can see it doesn't even say Yatming on the base, but that is a Yatming car. We've got lots of examples with the Yatming base. So that's the bag. Let's get into the rest of these goodies. But while we're still talking about loose stuff, we'll take another close. There's that darn bee again. Get out of here. Anyways, Pontiac GTO. Really nice. The guy said this was featured in a TV show or a movie or something. I don't know. I don't recognize it. But anyways, really nice Johnny Lightning car there. A closer look at that Majorette Ford Sierra. Opening doors. Minty 1/58 scale. Lots of bounce. One more close look at this Redline. What the heck is this thing again? They just call it a cruiser. It is based on a real car. Just struggling right now to remember what that is. I believe it's a Ford. Could be wrong. Feel free to chime in, of course. I really like that, and I think for $20 that's a bargain. The seller actually was a little skeptical about selling for $20, but hey, he had the price tag already on it, so what are you going to do? I got this interesting Tommy. I don't think it's all that old. Toyota Prius, all metal, or no, the base is plastic, but this thing is surprisingly heavy. It's like a paperweight. Lots of detail, the opening tailgate. So that is pretty cool. Second generation Toyota Prius. We'll just get right into the cracks here. A couple cars are getting cracked. The Corvette Coupe, number 499. This was actually a Corgi casting that Hot Wheels purchased from Corgi. Probably around 1995, I think, is when this one came out. Opening hood. I have lots of Corgi cars like this. All it says is Chevrolet Corvette with the Hot Wheels logo on it. But that's a nice little piece. Peugeot 405. Correction for the last car we looked at. We looked at this one. I called it a 505. That's clearly not right. This one would be from around 1997. And it's getting cracked as well. I have one of these on a mint card, and these cards are pretty storage worn. So out she come. Nice little car. I don't have one of these loose, and now I do. I'd be happy to put that on the wall next to its other brethrens. Anything else coming out of the package? This one I think might come out of the package. It's got a pretty good ding in it, but we'll save that for later. These were pretty hard to come by. I think this was released this year, but the scalpers and the hoarders just grabbed all of them in my local area anyways. What else have we got to show you? Saving the best for last, as you can tell. Just some new stuff that I haven't found. So guys are selling these for $2 Canadian. That's tax in. There is no tax, so not at a flea market. Might as well just pick them up because I'm paying about $1.60 anyways at Walmart by the time you're all said and done. So Kind of help me out, help them out a little bit, I guess. Let's look at those Fast and the Furious cars. This one's hard to see, it's so dark. I'm not opening these ones up. I like to keep these in the package. Nissan Skyline. I imagine that's going to be a hard one to find. Collect them all 6. You're going to see them right now. The Nissan GTR 2009. I bet you that one's hard to find as well. I didn't even realize they were still making Fast and the Furious cars, but I guess here we go. I'm sure I've seen this one before in previous Fast and the Furious releases. They've been releasing them for years. Oh dear. That's alright. I'm a bit of a completist. And we've got the 70 Chevelle SS. I know I've seen this one before. However, it is definitely a much darker gray enamel paint now than previous release. As well, the Ford GT40. I'm going to have to do a side-by-side comparison to confirm what's different, because I have seen that car before as well. This one, I believe, is new to the series, though. The Lamborghini Murcielago. Am I saying that right? Murcielago? Anyways, nice orange car. I think I paid $12 for this series, so that's about $2 a car. I'm pretty sure that you have to pay more than that at Walmart, so I think I did all right there. Matchbox thing. Nice Firestone Tampa. Never found this one in the store. I've been looking for it for a while. The BMW M5 police car with the rubber tires. Kind of cool. I only had to pay $2.50 for those. Again, I think those are $3 right now at Walmart, if you could even find them. So, anyways, so there's a London Taxi. Nice Tampa work on that. Those will probably get opened up at a later date. The Fast and the Furious Ripsaw. Now, I don't normally collect this stuff, but this thing looks neat. Just really think it's gonna... Whoa, we're about to lose the camera here. Knocking it off the table. Now that is pretty cool. It's got little wheels, so it actually rolls. Scale's good, you know. It's not bad. Not really sure what the actual scale of this vehicle is, but it looks about right to me. It's got this little moving turret thing on it. It's all plasticky and stuff. The base is metal, or the body's metal, but everything else is pretty much plastic. But I thought that was kind of cool, so there you go. What else is open? These things here. Wow, $10. I couldn't believe it. The guy he had them listed at $20 each, or 3 for $50. I bought 3, and he gave them to me for $30, so... They don't get much minter than this. These would be released mid-1970s. This is the K14 Freightliner, 1971 it says. It's actually a Scamel, is the truck. And these are a nice scale too. They're a bit big, but they're still... I have a large collection of these trucks, and when they're mint like this, all the parts still working and no chips and all the tampos and the glass still in them, you really can't go wrong. Here's another one, another Scamel. This one, probably the same. Superfast, K24 container truck. And it's got suspension. I mean, these things roll really smooth. It's got the removable container, the opening rear doors on it. Container's plastic, truck is metal. It's got some little pins to help secure it. One more of those to look at before we get it into the high dollar Hot Wheels. This one is another Scamel. Looks like a newer truck. Scamel Crusader. That one does not have a K number on it. Maybe the trailer does. It's upside down. Low Loader, made in England, 1973, Super King. This thing comes apart like that, just like the real deal, so you can offload your excavators or your skidders. It's all metal. And this part, I believe, detaches. I'm not even going to try. It's too old. This thing's mint, though. I mean, it's got the little hand ropey cranky thing on it. Little winch. I believe that is original, so I'm not going to play around with it too much. But just listen to how smooth that rolls. Beauty. There you go. Offload the tank. Jibba-joo. Jibba-joo. Okay, what else we got? Let's get into the car culture and exclusive stuff now. And here we go. The $200 special. This is beautiful. Datsun Bluebird 510 Club exclusive. Super chromy. Let's see if we can zoom in and gather some extra detail on this. Would look tremendous out of the package, but I'm going to keep this one in the package as I do most of my club cars. I'm not really sure why yet, but maybe one day I'll take them out. Number 10,560 of 17,500. My goodness, they made a lot of these. These are part of the 50th anniversary collection, so that is new this year, I assume. And he was asking $80, I think, or no, $65 for that one. I got it for $50 basically. That's Canadian again. And then this one, I believe, is a 2017 release from the Real Riders assortment through the club exclusives. That's in Bluebird 510. Spectre Flame Blue with tons of tampo work and details on it. Absolutely stellar. You can see it from both sides, of course. This one is number 536 out of 7,000. These are highly collectible. I've seen these going for no less than about $80, $90 US on eBay, but that's here in Canada. Maybe you can get a better deal if you live in the States. That first one came with a little collector pin of some kind. A tab. Anyways, let's get into this box set. Now, the seller was willing to sell me cars individually out of the set, but I really have kind of been hankering for this box set for quite a while, and you can see all 5 cars. It says colors and decorations may vary. They better not. So it opens up quite nicely. All 5 vehicles are in there. Let's see if we can just tilt this a little bit with a piece of plastic or something. No, it's not going to work. We'll just take them out one at a time, look at them. From the Cars and Donuts line, Car Culture, or in the same theme. First out is the 13 Copo Camaro. Zoom in a little bit in case you haven't seen these before. Pretty nice looking car. It's got the Golf livery. The Golf livery. I always stumble on the word. I'm actually usually afraid to even say it for obvious reasons. And from the Redlines. So this one, there's a little bit of everything. It's kind of an exclusive piece from each of the car cultures of 2017. So you wouldn't have been able to find this car and paint job in that series. Maybe the car, I'm not sure about that, but 65 Mercury Comet Cyclone. That's a beauty. Packaging the same on all the backs, so we'll skip looking at those. I apologize for the glare. I don't know. I started out overcast when I was making this video, and now it's kind of switched around on me a little bit. There's a little cardboard spacer for the remainders. Ah, the good old air-cooled. I remember that. The Moon Eyes Tampos, 65 Volkswagen Fastback. This is all metal. No longer hinged. I believe these cars were hinged when they were first editions back in 2005 or so. I don't know exactly. Ah, and there's the one that everybody wants, even though all the cars are produced in equal numbers. Number 0 out of 5 is the Brie Datsun Bluebird 510 in metallic blue. Looks very much the same as the old red version that first came out in Car Culture or something Garage. You can tell I'm making this video off the cuff. I'm just kind of excited to share everything, look at everything. Figured I'd do it with you guys, so forgive me if I've mixed up a little bit of the knowledge on some of this newer stuff. I'm more knowledgeable with the older stuff. But anyways, I knew that I wanted this one for a long time. I just was never willing to pay the prices that I've seen on eBay. It's just ludicrous. And even this modern classics Mustang, it's probably my favorite piece out of the 5, actually. I like this one even better than the Brie, but that's just me. I really like that pearl white they've done with it. The red accents, pinstriping, and super detailed tail lights and all that stuff. Iced Out, it's called. That makes perfect sense. So he was willing to sell me one of these for 20 bucks, but that's when I was just like, what can we do here? I'd like everything. So there you go. That's the that is the assortment of cars. I'm going to put out the ones that everyone wants to see the most. As you can tell, it's a beautiful summer day now. It was cloudy at first, but maybe time to go for a dip. And then put all these Hot Wheels into their new forever home later this evening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you've also been able to find some good picks wherever you're going, the store, flea markets, swap meets, what have you. I definitely am going to be going to more swap meets. It was so nice to talk with a bunch of other collectors and just feel the love of Hot Wheels all around, so that was great. And anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up if you like, and of course, happy hunting!